Hello everyone, this is Mr. Bonfine, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take data from a table and use that to make a graph in Google Docs. This is for the purpose of making a graph for your lab report. So what I did here is we have some data that I basically just made up for the sake of showing you this example. We're going to graph for this first lab. We're only going to graph the averages. We're going to graph this line down here, the 13 and the 21. We're not going to graph each trial separately. We're just going to graph the average. So to do that, what we're going to do is bring our cursor down to a new line, and then we're going to go to Insert, a Chart, and the chart we want is a column chart, which is basically the same as a bar chart that goes vertically. So we pick a column chart and it's going to insert that, and what Google Docs does is it has a bunch of pre-made charts just in case you have a template that you might want to use. So this chart is full of stuff that we have no concern for, we don't know anything about. But what we can do is we can take this and we can go hit this little arrow in the corner which says Open in Sheets, and it opens up the original source for our data. And again, this is not our data, this is the data that they used to build this chart originally. But what's nice is we can hijack this chart and use it for whatever we want. So, a couple things we're going to do with this new chart. I don't want all this stuff. What I'm going to do is compare average of control, we'll make that this column, and the average of the experimental group, we'll make that this column. So that means we're only going to save Team 1's data, and we're going to change it. Teams 2, 3, and 4, we don't want that data at all. So all you got to do is highlight that and just delete it. Just hit delete, it'll go away. Now, I don't want Team 1, I don't want points scored, I don't want period 1 and period 2. I can change all those things, and those are all right here. So I can change those. So instead of Team 1, we're measuring the average. We're measuring the average, and when I plug it in here, it changes at the bottom. So we're measuring the average. That's what these two bars are indicating. Period 1 is right now it's showing you this light blue bar. We don't want that. We want that to be our control. Period 2 is this dark blue bar. We don't want that to say period 2. We want that to say experimental. So now we have control, experimental. We're looking at the average, and we've got the wrong data in here, so we're going to change that data to match what's in our document. So I've got 13 and 21. You're going to put your own data in here, whatever your averages came out to be. But for me, it's 13 and 21. Once I plug those in, my bars are going to change their heights. So this one is 21. The blue one, the dark blue one, the light blue one is 13. Those are all labeled, control and experimental. And so that looks nice, except I don't like the scale. I'm going to double click on this axis over here. I would prefer if this goes down to 0 so I can compare my bar heights. So what I do is come over here. Once I double click this menu opens up. We're going to click on vertical axis. There's this place where it says minimum and maximum. We're going to set the minimum to 0, and the maximum is going to be bigger than your taller bar. In this case, my taller bar is 21, so this number needs to be bigger than that. I'm just going to make it 25 because that's an easy number to make it. So I can close this. And when I come back over here, I'm looking at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and my bars are full height, so I can compare them by height here. So this is done. Oh, it's not done. Points scored. We don't want points scored. We want that to say, we'll say number of swings, because that's what we're measuring. So we'll call that the number of swings for my control group, my experimental group, and I'm graphing the averages of those. So now this is all done. I can close this and go back to my document, and if you take a look, you'll see our document is not updated. All you gotta do is click on this thing. There's an update button right there, and that will basically, it'll refer to the spreadsheet, and that'll send back the new information from the spreadsheet, and now our graph is all set.